Clear
Hey,
out the
guys.
phlegm, more like it. Oh,
Yeah.
We're recording? Shit.
We are recording. It's a great intro.
I wasn't
Welcome.
paying attention.
No, I know. Welcome to Wasted Pitch. We're here. Let's do this. Let's get it started. We got a lot to cover tonight, Paul and Eric.
Yes.
In case you didn't notice. You know, at the beginning of the week, I was like, we're not going to talk about Shohei this week because we talk about Shohei every week. Last week, we talked about
last show, we said we were going to review a movie.
Exactly. That is not happening.
Not happening.
Because we're going to talk about Shohei again. And not about his wife.
No.
Nobody cares about that anymore.
Not about his contract.
Nope.
Not about his
No big
contract. Not about how good he is.
Nope.
We've had an interesting week here. In case you didn't notice, in case you live under a rock, or in case you wait for our weekly episode, then here's what's happening. Last week, I guess, what was it? What day was it? Like Thursday of last week?
It's like Sunday night.
Was it Sunday night?
When they were playing in Korea. It was like right after the second game.
Yeah.
So sometime last week, Ippei Mizuhara, which is Shohei Ohtani's translator and friend, he spoke with ESPN and divulged some information about his naughty little secret that Shohei had personally paid off Ippei's $4.5 million gambling debt. Okay, that's interesting, right?
Mm-hmm,
Right off the bat. Okay, a lot of money, not a lot of money for Shohei. But then later, the story changed, and this all happened within a matter of hours, I think.
24 hours, 12 hours.
Yeah, it was so
quickly
fast.
evolving.
Yeah.
So after the ESPN thing, the story changed, and this time it was Shohei had no involvement or knowledge of the payments, at which point Shohei's attorneys accused Ippei of stealing, and then Ippei was promptly fired by the Dodgers organization. So it's starting to get juicier. Also weird from the get-go. Like, why would he go to ESPN to tell this story
And admit that you're gambling on sports?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it changes.
How did this originally all come out? Like, what was the deal?
Don't know. That's the thing. I think somebody had caught it. I think the authorities had caught it because the money that was paid to an illegal bookie.
Right. And the bookie had the investigation going on him already.
Yes. And so then they saw that Shohei Ohtani's name came up as one of his clients, and they were like, well, that's interesting. And they see this payment for $4.5 million.
It was multiple payments that came up to.
So what I heard was that originally Shohei tried to take out money from his financial advisor, and he's limited to $500,000 at a time. So he did that multiple times, and it raised red flags, and they were like, what's going on here? And his people discussed it, and they said, you can't be doing this. You can't pay off his debts. And somehow his translator was able to get the money out of his accounts or whatever.
Yeah. It was like Ippei was using his accounts and stealing the money from him, basically. Right. That was the story.
Okay, hold on. Couple things here real quick. Why the heck can't you just give your friend money? First of all,
because you have a very serious contract with the Dodgers and MLB about not making it look like, even if you aren't gambling on sports, to not have any sort of look that you're gambling on sports. Because today he released a press statement saying he has never gambled on sports. He has, never paid for someone else to gamble on sports on his behalf.
Never do it in his name or anything. Yeah.
You're looking at, Pete Rose clause of your contract that you can't be gambling.
Okay, here's part two of my question.
Yeah.
Why the heck is gambling illegal in California? I mean, of all places, up here, we get DraftKings commercials every commercial break, like of every sports thing now.
Well, we can get into how sports gambling has just permeated everything, and it's such a nuisance and double standard.
Yeah. You can't gamble online in California. There are casinos in California all over the place, but for whatever reason, you can't gamble online.
Heard that. That makes sense. That's why I've seen casinos there. Duh.
Yeah. The other thing that's weird to me, or one of the reasons maybe why this is a big deal, is that the players are allowed to gamble. It's not illegal for them to gamble. Right. They just can't gamble on baseball.
Right.
So that's weird. The second part is that what was done was technically, if I'm looking at this right, technically a federal crime because he paid money to an illegal bookie.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where now he's being investigated by the Department of Justice or whatever it is, the FBI.
And that gets into all other charges of wire transfers and crossing state lines and...
Yeah.
Weird from the get-go, definitely. And then we had some things start to surface about Ipe. Things like not having a real degree from UC Riverside, like he stated. In fact, the university has come out and said that they have no record of him being there.
And that came out because some reporter totally dug deep into it.
Yeah.
And was like, well.
Yeah, well, Ipe. And then his resume includes some work as a translator with both the Red Sox and the Yankees, neither of which have panned out to be true.
Yeah.
The whole story,
an interpreter for a guy that was basically for the Red Sox, but didn't make the team or something. Is that how it worked out?
Yeah,
so he was there for like a month, but then didn't make the team, and so technically didn't really work for him.
Yeah, his whole resume is fabricated. Essentially, there's a pattern of fabrication,
dirty lies, Eric.
Yeah,
dirty lies.
And the whole story is just really fucking fishy. Like, it seems to me anyway, like either Ipe is covering for Shohei and taking the blame for what appears to be a gambling habit, or Shohei's lawyers are making Ipe come out and say that Shohei had no involvement in this because technically what he did was illegal and they want to save face. And Ipe is taking the fall. Like, Ipe is being a true G for Shohei and being like, look, I'll take one for the team.
Or the third option is Ipe actually gambled all that money and stole from Shohei.
Didn't he say something originally? He met the guy in San Diego at like some card games or something like that. And then they just, kicked it off, whatever their relationship. And he found out like, oh, hey, play some bets for me.
Yeah. As much as I enjoy watching Shohei play baseball, it's hard for me to believe that he had no involvement in this and that Ipe is the one who did all this on his own and Ipe stole from him and all this kind of shit. It just seems like everything just seems weird. It just seems like a weird fucking story. And maybe that's just we're digging too much into it. Obviously, we don't have all the information, all the facts. We probably never will. But definitely not a good look for Shohei. Not a good look for the Dodgers.
Or the Dodgers, big time, right?
Or baseball to have their number one
baseball.
Star entangled.
Once again, we have a fucking gambling issue in baseball.
So there was a dude back in like 2015. I saw the story a little bit earlier, who got busted for gambling, but he didn't gamble on baseball, and he just got like a $5,000 fine or something like that. Didn't get suspended any games. Nothing of the scent. Nothing of the such. Where's that story?
Yeah, and I honestly don't.
So realistically, if Shohei didn't have anything to do with this, nothing's going to happen. Slap on the wrist.
Right.
They can't let the face of baseball all of a sudden do this.
Right. It's the optics of it that is the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if the Astros didn't receive any punishment for,
oh my God,
right,
cheating, then Shohei better not receive punishment for this.
Good Lord.
Unless he's actually like really fucking gambling on a bunch of shit.
Well, I think it's safe to say he's not throwing games.
I mean, wasn't that part of the thing coming out here in the last few days? Like, maybe he was betting on baseball. Maybe he was betting against the Angels. You know, maybe he was like...
I mean,
it's hard for me to believe that, though, because like he was the one bright spot in the Angels lineup.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's just it. He knew they were going to lose. He fucking knew, man. He already knew they didn't have the juice.
Maybe
it's easy money.
Yeah, maybe it's the whole Angels team is in on it. Like that's why Rendon is like, man, I just don't really fucking like baseball. I don't want to play. You know, Mike Trout's hurt again. Like,
is he? No, that
was last year.
He
was hurt. He was hurt last year, but he gets hurt a lot.
I mean, what a great like movie that would be of like the entire.
Yeah. If we're still doing this podcast like 70 years from now, we're going to have a great story about the 2023
running a baseball club into the ground and everyone coming out of it multimillionaires.
Yeah.
I think we should write a screenplay. Come on. Let's cash in on
Guaranteed that it's already in the works. Some form of a screenplay is already in the works. Yeah. Ipe is writing that screenplay right now.
You know, Law and Order is going to have an episode in a couple weeks.
Man.
But yeah, kind of shitty way to start the baseball season, to be honest with you.
I mean, also kind of exciting a little bit. Like, holy shit, what? But at the same time, you know, Ipe was kind of becoming a little bit of a rock star. Yeah. You know, you don't want to see people just fucking take it.
Yeah.
Take it.
I mean, and that's what's hard to believe is like they were friends too, right?
Yeah.
And now he's stealing his money. And it was
allegedly.
Allegedly.
That's why it's hard to believe. That's why it's hard to believe for me. I don't know. And they were like all buddy in the dugout, like right before this shit came out on ESPN.
Moments.
I don't know. It's just weird. There's something else there. And we will probably never hear about it because it's going to live in the basement of a MLB archive.
I don't know. If there's one thing about sports writers is that they love digging up dirt.
Yeah,
they love investigating shit like this. And I think we'll eventually get the full story.
Let's hope so.
It's totally going to happen.
I'm looking at this sad picture of Shohei and Ipe.
Together.
Yeah.
Man, what do you think do we know what his contract with the Dodgers was?
I thought he said something about like $500,000 a year or something like that. I thought I read that.
That's pretty solid. That's a pretty solid salary for what he did.
To travel the country and...
I'm sure. I think that was just his team salary. I don't know if he had something worked out with Shohei as well, kind of thing. Like, Maybe he was kicking down another something kind of thing.
Yeah, he's kicking down another $4.5 million.
You would think, like, you got financial advisors and things like that, and they would sort of like raise the flag of like, hey, are you trying to withdraw this kind of money? Hey, let's talk real quick.
That's what's also a little hard to believe.
Yeah.
A different world, obviously. I'm not rolling in the dough like Shohei.
Yeah.
Guaranteed he has somebody managing his money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Multiple people.
How does Ipe have access to his money, and how is he able to make those transactions, right? Like if you're wiring that much money, you have to have some sort of verification. And maybe you just need a passcode, like
right
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, send the money, right? I don't know.
Or maybe they knew him so well he could just say, yeah, Shohei said it was okay.
Maybe something's dirty, something's
or maybe
fishy.
Shohei said, you're taking this shit for me, big dog.
Yeah. That's a possibility. Ipe might be getting paid here at the end of the year.
I wonder. So
Shohei's going to make $70 million just off of endorsements alone this year. So,
see, that's just it. So, like, maybe he doesn't have all these financial advisors, and maybe he just didn't notice the money was gone. It's like $4.5 million, whatever. When you got that much money sitting in the bank.
I don't know, man. Guaranteed, he's got people working his money. Like,
of course.
You have to at that level when you have so many different hands in the fire. He's getting money from everywhere. He's got to have somebody being like, oh, and I mean, especially with MLB players, like they have to pay taxes in every single state that they play in. So that's a mess.
And Canada.
Wasn't that part of how the investigation came about? Was taxes. California.
Yeah.
Those people.
They want their cut.
Californians?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Falls onto something here.
Yeah. I like it. Investigative journalism. That's where we're at. I'm sure we're going to find out more. Shohei's still playing. He's still scheduled to be in the lineup as usual. We'll see if that affects his play. Maybe.
Is he playing tonight? I think the Dodgers were playing tonight, weren't they?
Oh, I don't know.
Not a
opening day for everybody's on Thursday, I believe.
Dodgers are playing the Angels tonight.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And the Angels are up 4-0 right now.
Yeah. See, he's throwing games for the Dodgers now.
Already.
Yeah. But we will, I'm sure, come back to this story.
Oh, yeah.
He's over 2
throughout the
tonight,
season,
by the way.
Okay.
As well.
Yeah. Totally affecting his play.
Yeah.
God damn it, Shohei. You were the golden boy. You had everything.
Were the golden child.
The chosen one. Oh, well. Eric, have you had your fantasy draft yet?
Yes.
You hesitated.
How'd that go, Eric?
I made some mistakes, but I think I recovered from them. Possibly some trades coming up. I accidentally drafted someone in the minors.
Classic,
but that's okay, because we can have a minor play. You can have a player from the minors. I just need to find a shortstop to replace him.
Oh God, you don't have a shortstop?
Not currently.
Okay,
but I'm working on it. Nick, you remember when you helped me for the first time I did this rotisserie league, and how the draft was done in a spreadsheet?
Yeah.
It hasn't been. We have not moved on from that.
Of course not.
So it's very frenetic of keeping track of who's been taken, who's still available, what positions you need. It was a lot. So yeah, I made some mistakes, but I think I got some good players. I'm pretty happy.
Who'd you got?
Who's your best player?
My best player is,
Big Dumper. Clearly.
let me bring up my team. My best, let's see, for hitting, I've got Luis Robert. How do you say his name? Is it Robert or is it Robert?
I think it's Robert.
Okay.
But I've always said Robert, but I don't think he's French.
Yeah, I think people say Robert just like
it's more sophisticated and refined.
Yeah, it's like saying Target.
Yeah.
I've got Burns pitching from Baltimore.
Mr. Burns.
Pretty happy about that. I've got Cal Raleigh.
Yep.
I've got another name I'm going to screw up. Vinny Pasquantino.
Oh, yeah. A little KC Royals.
Yeah.
The Pasquatch. We talked about the Pasquatch
that's
last
right.
year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I've got JP Crawford.
Jesus, what is this like a... Oh, wait. Does he still play for the Mariners?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's your shortstop right there, dude.
Well, this is an AL only league.
I know, but still, that's a bold move to draft a bunch of Mariners.
It's a smart move.
I actually have... It's pretty much Mariners in Baltimore.
Yeah, you're fucked.
You're fucked.
Haniger in my reserves.
Mitch Haniger, let's go. He's a good reserve.
I got Hunter Renfroe as my reserve, as my other reserve. Yeah, I'm pretty happy.
It's an AL league only.
AL league only.
Huh.
9 teams.
We may have talked about this before, but why do you guys still just do it in Google Sheets? Like, there's got to be a better way.
Because, and I hope no one from my commissioner isn't listening.
Oh, I hope they're listening.
Half the people are like 80 plus, and getting them onto Google Sheets is hard enough.
Okay.
For them to figure out how to do it within the CBS Fantasy app.
Isn't this kind of a big money league or something too?
It's
big money, but
$250.
Wow, that's big money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last few weeks, the best team gets $100 just to keep people going, like the best team for that week, so that you don't throw the whole thing. So you get first pick next year. It's like 50% goes to the first team, second team gets 25% or something like that. And then, yeah, I've never won any money yet. This is year 4.
This is your year.
This is my year.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do it.
Okay. If I were you, I would start looking at some trades.
Already am.
Okay. You might not want to put all your eggs in one basket, is what I'm saying, Eric.
Well, that would lead us to our next subject of division rankings.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Sounds like you're not so hot on Seattle as Paul is.
Well, we all know this. Like that's not a secret on this show.
But where do you rank them?
It's 2 parts. The first part is that I don't think they're quite as balloons. What the fuck?
Balloons.
Yeah. Okay. Apparently, peace sign on my computer means balloons. Sorry, everyone. Part 1 is that I am not as high on the Mariners as Paul is. Clearly, he's a homer. It's understandable.
Obviously, yeah.
Second part is that I just really like giving Paul shit because I like busting his balls.
I mean, you like giving everyone shit, Nick.
Everyone.
It's fun.
And it's all about individual stats. It's not about like team wins. It's not about the team, the Mariners, the whole team. So Cal Raleigh, it's like hit 30 some odd home runs last year, batted like 270. It's like he's one of the best catchers in the league.
Right. He definitely is one of the best catchers. I think it was
JP Crawford,
second or third.
Do you get like defensive points and offensive points?
No, it's just offensive.
Right. So he's JP's leadoff hitter, gets on base. That's for something. Not a big power guy.
And I really did just go like in the later rounds. You just go down the list, and it's like, shit. I need a first baseman. Who's the best first baseman available? Okay, I'll pick him.
But you don't have like when we do the fantasy football draft on ESPN, and they're already ranked or anything like that. You don't have anything like that.
I printed out a ranking.
Oh, okay.
From Fantasy Pros, yeah.
And then you just got to cross off names as they're drawn, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep. The pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm. So how do you set your lineup every week or every
in
day?
CBS Fantasy?
So you guys are already using that, but
trust me, I did not set this up. I have advocated for doing the computerized draft. The old timers don't want to do it. This is the same league that I remember as a kid. My uncle is in it, and he would check stats in the newspaper, and they would like call each other to set their lineups and make trades and stuff. Like, this is pre-internet league. So I'm fortunate enough that they used the CBS Fantasy app to set lineups.
They're going to give you the boot now that you've been talking shit about it.
Yeah,
bye, Eric.
They're not listening to this.
Okay.
They can't figure out the CBS Fantasy app. They don't know how to get a podcast.
Is it really 80-year-old dudes?
They're old dudes. I mean, they were doing it when I was a kid, so and I'm no spring chicken.
That's funny.
You are a spring chicken, Eric.
Yep.
That I am not.
Okay, well, since we segued over into division projections, let's do it. Let's discuss this. We did this last year. I think it was a fun exercise. I think it was fun to talk about. I don't remember how it ended up. MLB posted a few days ago the projected 2024 standings for American League and National League via Baseball Prospectus.
They did. That's right.
And I like it. I think it's pretty close, except for the AL Central. They're way off on that, but we'll discuss that. We'll start with the AL East. They have the New York Yankees going 92-70 this year and winning the division. Followed up by the Blue Jays, Orioles, Rays, and then your very own Boston Red Sox.
I disagree.
Where would you flip? What would you flip?
I have Blue Jays, Yankees, Orioles, Rays, Red Sox.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too.
I think Yankees are injury prone as a whole, and they do not deal with injuries very well. I think it'd be very easy for them to get into a slump due to injuries and not be able to recover. And in any kind of slump, they have trouble recovering. I think the Blue Jays have an advantage there.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised that the Orioles are not as high on this list.
See,
but
that's a problem right there.
Yeah, but there has been a little bit of turnover from last year, right? Like they're not quite the same team as they were last year, and they were a huge surprise last year in terms of the win-loss column and just how far they went. But I would say it's probably
they're still going to win the division. Yep.
Okay. Do you think it's going to be Orioles, Yankees, Blue Jays, Rays, Red Sox? See, this is such a tough division to even project because
it really is.
Because last year, up through the mid-season, they were all competing for the top 2-3 spots. I mean, within a couple games of each other.
Everyone was over 500, and
yeah. But I'm
except
saying,
for Boston.
What's that?
No, even Boston there, buddy.
Boston was above 500.
Were they? No.
Yeah. I mean, they dipped below it. I think they ended up a few games above it, but
Baltimore, Tampa, New York, Toronto, Boston. Sorry, Eric.
you don't need to apologize. I know they slipped this year.
Yeah, no apology necessary.
I'm not delusional, Paul.
Is there any chance that they come out and they're just like magically a good team? Or do you...
there's a chance of they've got nothing to prove, so they just go out and have fun and try, prove for themselves, each player for themselves. I don't see them going, nowhere near the postseason, but I could see them having a fun season. I don't think they're going to be much over 500, though.
They need to sign Jordan Montgomery and get like a solid,
no kidding,
number one guy in that pitching staff.
No kidding.
That'd be pretty cool.
Pitching has always been an issue.
Yeah.
Well,
and it seems like
not
contract
when we had the Rocket
pitchers,
and Pedro, but
yeah. Since then, though,
yeah.
Is that their biggest holdup? Is their pitching staff?
Well, right. I mean, this year it's the front office willing to spend money on anything,
which is pretty common around the league, it seemed.
Yeah. But you've got guys from the bullpen pitching, starting, and you don't have any real heavy hitters at the plate.
Okay. Well, that'll be a fun one to watch. I'm sure it's going to be a bloodbath throughout the whole season. Watching
as per usual.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. I don't think the Yankees are going to win it. I thought the Yankees were going to win it last year.
I can still see the Yankees like wild card team though.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's it's also one of those things where Tampa and Toronto are just good. They're sneaky good. They're always sneaky, and they're always just kind of lurking around. So you can't count them out either.
Lurking around like Wander Franco.
God. Whoa. Lurking around that junior high. Come on now.
Yeah.
Just pair them off.
Eric's reaction was hilarious.
No comment.
All right, let's move on. Move on to the AL Central.
AL Central.
Yeah. It is projected that the Minnesota Twins will win 90 games and win the division, followed up by Cleveland, Detroit, Kansas City, and Chicago. Cleveland being the only other team in the division with a winning record. I mean, I think realistically speaking, me not being a homer, the Royals winning almost 20 more games than they did last year, that's a good improvement. I think they might actually win more than 71 games, but we shall see.
Bobby Witt is going to win 71 games.
By himself.
Pretty much all on him.
Okay.
Just a heads up.
I mean, that means that there's got to be some team wins in there too. So like we're looking at like 101 wins, 102 wins. Best record in American League. I like your style, Paul. Yeah, I mean, this division sucks. Let's be real. Historically, they've been bad. Detroit's going to be bad. Chicago's going to just be
horrible.
Dumpster fire.
Yeah, they already are a dumpster fire, and they have been for a while. So this one's not really interesting to watch, even though I'm a fan of a team in the AL Central. It's just not an interesting division. All of these teams are just kind of boring. The Twins are boring. I get bored watching the Minnesota Twins. Now we're on to Paul's favorite, AL West.
What's up? Here's how it's going to go. Let me tell you.
Okay,
forget these projections.
Okay.
Seattle, Texas, Houston, Anaheim, Oakland. That's how the AL West is going this year. Seattle, Texas, Houston, 2-game difference.
2-game difference
between those. Yep.
And so you're still going with Seattle at 94 wins, is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And Texas at 92-ish wins, 93.
Houston at 92.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know. I kind of like the projected standings on this one. Houston, Texas, Seattle. I think that looks pretty good. Either Paul is frozen or he's just fucking staring at me.
No, man, it's great.
Or both, actually.
Yeah, probably both. I don't know about Houston though. Houston is kind of it's easy to root against them. It's hard to bet against them in terms of their standing in the division.
Certainly a good way to put it, but
I mean, who did they lose from their squad last year? A couple of bullpen arms, because
I try not to read anything about them. We actually, I think the Mariners recently signed one of their guys.
Yeah, you guys got Stanek.
Yeah, exactly. So, but Verlander is not going to start the season. He's injured somehow again, being old.
I mean, he's 42.
Yeah, they still got Kyle Tucker, Jose Altuve,
Alex
big
Bregman,
giant Yordan Alvarez.
Yeah, see, it's like those guys are so good.
They're good. Don't get me wrong.
And they're so good together. Like they only help each other.
Yeah,
that's just it.
The chemistry is.
Yeah, the chemistry is frustrating, Eric.
Yeah,
frustrating.
Tell me about it.
Honestly,
and injuries don't seem to have any part. Like, they recover from injuries so easily.
They do.
Yeah, that's frustrating. I'm actually interested to see how the Angels do with Ron Washington at the helm now.
See,
that's right. Yeah,
they're going to be better than they were because Ron Washington is awesome.
Yeah,
he's going to spark something in him.
It's going to be Trout's team again.
Yep.
Maybe Rendon will wake up and play half the season this year.
That's pushing it, buddy. That's pushing it.
And then the A's are just going to be... Can the A's do worse? They have them projected winning 64 games this year. That's really
pretty crazy.
high.
What did they win last year?
Oh, it was
50.
Like 38 or... No, did they win 50?
Game. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to win 14 more games. There's no way. Watch, they're going to come out and win the fucking division.
Man, this is what
it's going to be so hilarious.
They're going to be like the Rays last year and start 14 and
a bunch of nobodies all of a sudden just decide to do well for the A's. I've seen them take down the Mariners so many times because of that.
Nothing to lose.
Okay, let's move on to the National League. NL East, Atlanta projected to win 101 games.
That's less than they won last year.
What did they win last year? 111 or something like that? 104. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's... Atlanta's so good. They're
just
stacked.
Do you know what their run differential was last year?
No.
231.
That's
insane.
Fucking ridiculous. Yeah, sorry.
How is that even possible?
It blew my mind.
Yeah. Okay, so followed by Philly, New York Mets, Miami Marlins, Washington Nationals.
I mean, Mets Marlins is a toss-up to me.
I was reading an article the other day that somebody's like, Mets are going to be one of those sleeper teams. They suddenly have all these like...
Man, every year they're good. People say they're going to be a sleeper team.
I don't know. They just seem to like have that shit luck is what they always do.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
But they do it to themselves, though. Like, part of it is luck. Part of it is just the Mets being the Mets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who do they have on their squad? I don't even... Do they still have Francisco Lindor?
Yep.
And...
David Wright? that his name?
Is that guy
No.
still playing baseball?
No.
No
The,
way.
the
No
first
way.
baseman dude, the big home run hitter kid.
Pete Alonso.
Pete Alonso.
I was like, David Wright. That dude was like 43 when he played in the 2015 World Series.
Sean Manaea.
Sean Manaea, former Oakland. Isn't he the
former Royal traded to Oakland?
There you go. They got that awesome closer, Edwin Diaz.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about Diaz.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But you'd think they'd like made some, like, they got a bunch of younger guys in the Verlander, Scherzer trades and whatnot. So, you know, they can't be complete crap.
No, I think 83 wins is a respectable number, which is what they're projected.
Yeah.
How many wins do they have for the Marlins?
79.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Like, no argument here.
Yeah. Philly, 85. There's a big gap in some of these teams, like between Atlanta and Philly. 101 versus 85. It's a very large gap in wins, in the win column.
It is.
The NL Central is similar to the AL Central in that it is
boring.
Yeah. St. Louis is projected to win the division with 84 wins. So that tells you all you need to know about this division. Followed up by the Cubs, Reds, Brewers, Pirates. I thought the Reds were going to be better than they were last year, but I think that was just like Ellie hype. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Getting into it.
They have a bunch of young guys. Like that infield is pretty awesome for the Reds. I think they're kind of a sleeper team in that division. I think they could easily kind of, do some damage. I'm thinking more them Reds and Cubs are going to do better than fucking Cardinals. Cardinals shat the bed last year, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. And they have, I think Arenado's still on their team on the Cardinals.
Oh, yeah. And Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah, but you don't hear much about those guys, which is weird. Because just a few years ago, Arenado was like, he was a baller.
Weren't they both like MVP, like runner-ups or something? Just a couple years ago?
Yeah. And then National League West, we have the Dodgers. Kind of a no-brainer there. 101 wins. Giants, Diamondbacks, Padres, and Rockies. Rockies being the worst team in baseball, it looks like. Yes.
Fair assumption.
Yeah. I think this one is pretty straightforward. Last year we didn't, they have the Diamondbacks winning 84, which is what they won last year, right? I think it was 84. 80.
Yeah, 84, 78. Yep.
Yeah. So kind of right on the money. I would be surprised if they improved upon that. I think they're going to have a little bit of a World Series hangover.
Good young team. I don't know. Paul Sewald, the guy we traded to him mid-season, their closer, is starting on the IL with like an oblique strain or something. Missed several weeks. But I think San Francisco is going to be kind of the sleeper team in that division, kind of like a couple years ago when they won 100 games completely out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And
they won the division.
Yeah. So I think they're certainly one to watch out for NL West this year.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of they picked up some good players in the offseason as well. So
Shohei.
I wouldn't say that they had a Dodgers type offseason.
No.
But nobody really did. Nobody even came close. I'm surprised that they only have 101 wins for the Dodgers. Like, I think if the Dodgers play to their potential, they could win 120 games. Like legit 120 games.
It's true. If not more.
But we'll see.
Potentially.
Interesting.
130. Just fucking go. What's the record?
Yeah, what is
the
record?
Well, I mean, I'm sure
back in the day there was somebody
were fewer teams and all that. Best.
I'm going to guess 128.
I'm going to guess 122.
Okay.
but it's probably like 132.
Most MLB wins in a season. It's a tie between two teams with 116.
Mariners, Cubs.
Can you name the years, Paul?
2001 for the Mariners. And I don't know when the Cubs did it.
1906.
I was going to say
God.
something like that.
The 1906 Cubs lost in the World Series. The 2001 Mariners lost in the ALCS. So
Classic.
winning them all does not get you the trophy.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, that would be fitting for the Dodgers to win 128 games,
Right.
and then just lose in the wild card round or whatever it is. Yeah. They'll lose to the
suck.
Yeah. That would be brutal.
Yeah. Well, actually, like them in Atlanta would get the first round bye, and St. Louis would have to play the best wild card team.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
whoever won the Central.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how they do. I kind of hope they don't just fucking win all the goddamn time, too, though. That shit kind of drives me crazy a little bit.
Like just for the season or for the next 4 or 5 years?
Both.
Yeah. I think they're trying to create they're trying to create a dynasty of sorts. Like,
absolutely.
They've got these players locked up for a while. So, they've got a good chance to do it. Can they execute? That's the biggest thing.
Well, isn't yeah. They signed Shohei's going to pitch. Yamamoto, obviously, he's going to get his stuff together, hopefully. Didn't have a really good...
No, he gave up 5 runs in
first inning,
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not so good.
You're fucking fired.
Give me my $300 million back.
Yeah.
That is what preseason's for.
Yeah.
Spring training.
Were those actually preseason or spring training games?
Oh, no, that was an actual game. You're right.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game.
Get it right.
Well, it was like 15 to 18.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that was one of those games was brutal.
Something crazy.
And then they come back and play like 3 or 4 spring training games before they resume the season. Yeah, it's weird.
Oh, and Dodgers and forget who it is are going to start next season in Japan. U.S. news outlet says the L.A. Dodgers and the Chicago Cubs have been privately informed they have been selected to open the 2025 season in Tokyo.
Oh, cool.
MLB is trying to cash in right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As they should.
I mean, of course.
Yep.
Now you know for sure that Shohei's not going to get any punishment.
Exactly. Exactly.
There's nothing coming his way. Ippei's going to get his first check that he gets when those payments start to come through. And that's it. Ippei took one for the team. Shohei got to do some March Madness gambling with an illegal bookie.
So, what do you think of the Dodgers rotation being ranked like number 4 by MLB?
I mean, that seems about right. Who's in the rotation right now? Is fucking Kershaw still in the rotation?
Well, he's not coming. He's not starting until mid-season.
Right.
Kershaw isn't?
Yeah, he had another surgery. I don't know, another back surgery or something. Yeah.
Glasnow, Yamamoto, Miller, Paxton, Stone.
James Paxton. Shelby Miller.
Bobby Miller.
Bobby Miller.
Bobby?
Who was the first person you read?
Tyler Glasnow.
Oh, Tyler. That's right. So was there Kershaw in that lineup?
No.
Interesting.
Injured list. He's on the injured list.
Wait a minute. What just happened right there?
So what are the top rotations? We have Seattle Mariners, I assume, are number 1, which is why you're so hard on it.
Braves.
Yeah, Atlanta Braves. Philadelphia Phillies at number 3. Dodgers, Giants, Padres, 4, 5, 6 right there. Jays, Diamondbacks, Guardians, 7, 8, 9. And then 10th has a bunch of tied teams: Astros, Marlins, Orioles.
Okay.
Yeah, Philly, number 3. That's pretty good.
They were there. They were up there last year, though, too.
Yeah.
I don't think they really went out and got anybody for their.
They didn't need to.
Yeah.
They re-signed the Nola dude, right?
Yeah, Aaron Nola.
Yeah.
And then who's the other ace type pitcher that they have on that squad? There's another guy on there. Wheeler, Zach Wheeler.
Wheeler.
Yeah, I'm. Mariners have a good squad. That's true. You're right.
That's all I wanted to hear you say, Nick.
No, I've admitted it multiple times on the show, Paul.
Peace out, Wastoids.
Cut. That's it.
That's a
Cue
wrap.
the music. So opening day is on Thursday.
3 more days.
Today's Monday.
Mm-hmm.
You might be listening to this by opening day. We'll see. What are you guys doing for opening day? Anything? You gonna watch?
Hopefully.
You gonna go?
Gonna be watching some baseball while I work.
Hopefully watching somehow. Somewhere.
Trying to stay up late because the Red Sox start the season on the West Coast.
Seattle. They start in Seattle.
Oh, that's right. You guys should have like a little party, like a little watch party. What time does the game start?
9 p.m.
7 o'clock here or something.
That's perfect.
Yeah. Screws Eric up. It's going to be a late night for him.
Yeah.
10 o'clock.
I mean, the Red Sox are going to be out of it by the 3rd inning. And he's going to say that the season is already over by that point.
They're not going to win any games.
Yeah, 0 wins for
that. All comes with being a Red Sox fan.
Yeah.
I love it.
So now you got to make some food, Paul. Like if it's a 7 o'clock game, you can make yourself some hot dogs, some bratwursts.
Some Seattle dogs.
Seattle dogs?
Yeah. Actually, the missus is going to be out of the house that evening, so I'll be on my own.
Perfect. You can eat like 4 hot dogs and not feel guilty about it.
And
eat 4 hot dogs in your underwear.
Yeah.
Mustard on your chest.
Mustard stained underwear and like just shit everywhere.
It's totally legit. That's a good opening day right there.
Throw the napkins across the room.
Oh, that's good stuff. I like it.
I'm not going to be able to watch it, I don't think, because I don't have a subscription service and I'm not signing up for MLB TV this year.
Oh, we don't get to play our game this year. When does Nick cancel his MLB subscription?
Yeah. How soon is Nick going to cancel? Is he going to make it through May?
I'm not even going to have it this year. It's pointless for me to have it because I'm in a blackout area. I wouldn't be able to watch.
What is your local regional sports channel?
Bally. You have to subscribe to. It's not on. They don't show it on like regular over the air shit, and I don't have cable or anything like that. So I'm just going to listen to it on the radio, or maybe find a way to watch it.
r/MLB replays.
Yeah, or ride the waves to the east. If you catch my drift. Yeah, should be good. I think the Royals play in the afternoon, which is normal. So go baseball. Let's hear you guys. Opening day.
Yay, baseball.
Yay, go Mariners.
Is that it? Are we done? Was that our outro?
I thought so.
I thought it was excited.
Okay. Yeah.
God, didn't that pump you up, dude? What the hell?
We sounded so excited about fucking baseball. I am excited. I think baseball's always a slow start for me because it's right in the middle of the NBA season. Like NBA is starting to kick up and like playoffs are here soon. football season just ended. I'm still riding the high of like, my football team being awesome.
F1 just started.
Yeah, I wouldn't have even noticed. All right. Well, let's wrap it up. Let's do this. Good show, guys.
Yep. Excellent job.
Yeah. Next week we will have a movie review for you.
For sure.
We're going to be talking about. We're going to be touching the game, but this time over in the Alaska. Yes, Alaska. That's how they say it.
Yep.
Same thing as Cape Cod Lake, but across the other side of the country.
But the sun doesn't go down.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So stick around for next week's episode. Go watch some baseball if you can figure it out. If not, send us a message. We'll tell you how to watch baseball. Other than that, enjoy your week, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.